Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a massive breaking alert, a breaking update. Donald Trump. This is so seismic and so historic, and just now he's done it. Trump has won the Nobel Peace Prize. Wow. This is amazing for the country. This is amazing for the world. Yes, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Wow, I can't believe Trump did this. This is so awesome. And it just goes to show you, even liberals now are saying Trump is just an all time great president. This is awesome. This is so awesome. Oh. Donald Trump with another peace deal. This is the seventh of the second administration.
And the United States of America. And we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers. Again, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, out on Truth Social as we were talking there. Ari, put this in historical perspective, knowing all we know about the years and years, decades of turmoil in the Middle East.
Well, what's truly remarkable about this is previous breakthroughs existed between Israel and unique nations, Israel and Egypt, Israel and Jordan. Then you had the Abraham Accords expanding it to a wider group of nations, Bahrain, the UAE. But never before have you had an agreement with Hamas, eight Muslim nations, 7 Arab, 1 nation Turkey, Muslim nation, Israel, and the United States. That is the breakthrough here. From a humane point of view, it is wonderful and joyous that the hostages will come home. Families can finally, at long last, be reunited. But there are 2 big steps that remain, and those steps are the disarmament of Hamas and Hamas relinquishing control and power. Those 2 are going to be the trickiest ones.
This is what Trump tweeted out, talking about the first phase of the peace plan being agreed. Yeah, this would be big if it actually. I mean, I think you have to remain skeptical. It is the first phase, but I mean, nobody truly knows. Israel already agreed to it apparently, and so now Hamas has agreed, and they're going to be letting the hostages go. But yeah, they want them to disarm themselves, and that's going to be a big hurdle, I'm sure. Seymour, what's up, man? You give them 24 hours before they start fighting again. No, I mean, I think if it falls apart, it'll probably be during like a secondary negotiation on disarmament or something. Would Harris or Biden even come close to this? Yeah. I mean, it is. Trump has a negotiating style. Seems to really force the pressure on these countries. Netanyahu has lost so much support for the situation. Yeah, and Netanyahu is in a horrible spot because the people in Israel don't think Netanyahu is going hard enough. You know that they think they want a total, eradication. They want all the Palestinians gone. So for him to agree to something like this, that's going to be very bad. It may help his public image worldwide, but it's already so destroyed. I don't think it will. But locally within Israel, they're not going to be happy either, from what I heard. Kamala seems tipsy drunk in her appearances lately. Yeah, well, she always does that. I don't know if she actually is drunk or she comes off as drunk and hungover in a lot of her appearances. Thoughts on Hassan crying about the dog situation? That dog is in an open air prison. I'll tell you that. You see that dog? Hassan forces that dog to sit in the same spot for like 5 hours, and then the dog tries to move, and it's a shock collar, and then he tries to conceal the shock collar by putting electric tape over it. The entire thing's really bad for him. I don't know what's. I mean, he's getting a lot of hate. You know, he's got a lot of people on the left, a lot of liberals hate him as well. Thoughts on Trump bringing a bunch of conservative influencers to the White House today to rip on Antifa and call it a real organization? Well, I mean, they're constantly doing that with ICE and all that. I think they should do it quietly. They'd probably be more effective. Like this stuff where they keep going out with Kristi Noem and they're videotaping it. Just do it quietly, and then there's not going to be as many protesters. Don't film it. That's basically what I would say. But it's like they're almost inviting the protesters. When is the USD collapsing? You look at the price of gold. Gold, I'll be honest, gold cannot be a good buy right now. I saw where gold was outperforming the NASDAQ in the past 5 years. It's gone up 112%. So what it's there was an Antifa roundtable. We'll have to look at that then. I'll have to look at the roundtable if that's true. Israel will withdraw from most of Gaza. Yeah, there's like multiple like multiple new front lines, if you want to call it. Although I wouldn't even call it a front line because it's not even like Hamas is really fighting against the Israeli military, at least in terms of any efficiency or effectiveness. But they're going to withdraw to certain points as things get agreed upon, apparently. But I mean, what are the Hamas going to disarm themselves? That seems to be the issue with Russia and Ukraine, because Russia wants Ukraine to demilitarize. When is the Nobel Peace Prize announced? I don't know. Maybe the end of the year or something. I mean, maybe Trump actually might have a chance to win that, even though, I mean, what does it matter?
Probably will happen. We don't have to worry about it yet. That's a long time. You know what 1 week is for me? An eternity. 1 week for me is a long time. We'll take care of it. Our military is always going to be taken care of. Yeah, please. Blue dress. Blue. Probably will happen. We don't have to worry about it.
November 10th is when it's announced. I don't know. I'd have to look at the betting odds to see if he has a chance.
Are you going to work with your administration as the Secretary of State's here? Are you going to work with your administration to designate it a foreign terror organization?
You mean a terror?
Antifa? A foreign terror organization.
Well, has that been done? Pretty close, right? Would you like to see it done?
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you think it would help?
They have
Antifa's
foreign
domestic.
I'd be glad
all
to do
across
it. I
Western
think it's
Europe.
the kind of thing I'd like to do. If you'd like, does
Middle
everybody
East.
agree? If you agree, I agree. Let's get it done. Okay? Let's get it done. Marco, we'll take care of it.
Mr. President.
That's international, you mean?
Yes.
International.
Mr. President.
Sounds good to me.
Foreign terror organization.
Steve, are you okay with it?
Yes, it's true. There are extensive foreign ties, and I think that would be a very valid step to take.
Good, I think so too.
Yes.
Good, I think it's a good point. Thank you.
Not one person in the White House could give a name of one member of Antifa. I would say probably Hassan Piker would be a member of Antifa. Rate cuts. Yeah, there's going to be another rate cut. I mean, but it's already like priced in. No, it'll be good. I don't know, man. There are going to be 2 more rate cuts though. But if they're 0.25, I don't know if it's going to You know, if it's 0.5, then I think we're going to see a big run up. But if it's 0.25, it's like it's already priced in. Antifa is an international organization. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they don't seem to be. It's like this is the thing with Antifa. If you obstruct ICE agents, you're gonna be arrested. Is that really that hard? Why don't we just do that? Can we not just arrest these illegals? And if we're raiding and if there's people getting in the way, just arrest them. We don't have to do all this with the films and take pictures and all this. And because you ever listen to Gavin McInnes? I mean, I see some of his clips sometimes on X. Antifa organizers have fled to other countries. What a mess. Yeah, but if that dog is older, a dog that old should not have a shock collar on. A dog that old should not have a shock collar on. That's not good training if you have to have a shock collar on a dog that old. That's that's poor training of a dog. Why does Matt Walsh wear a wig or dress? I don't think Matt Walsh wears. Yeah. During a movie, Matt Walsh wears a wig, I guess, to try and conceal his identity. I believe that's why.
Go ahead.
In the ceasefire
This is
negotiations.
CNN speaking, by the way. So,
Are you
you know, this
personally
is
participating?
one of the worst reporters that you'll ever see. I don't even want to take a
Hold on,
question. It's
Mr.
a waste of
President,
time.
Mr.
Go
President,
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, that was for sure a shot collar, 100%.
They're smart, but they're not smart enough. Oh, my microphone's broken. They're smart, but they're not smart enough. They have been covered by these liberal cities for so many years. And that's why we're all working with Treasury, with all these different departments to find the criminal conspiracy.
Okay. I'm just giving. Yeah, I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly. So I will take a couple of more questions.
One of the worst arguments you've seen from liberals as well, Antifa just means you're anti-fascist, therefore everyone should be Antifa. Yeah, it's like the Democratic, Republic of North Korea being democratic. It's obviously meaningless if you can't, no matter what you call yourself. It just depends on. I mean, they act fascist because they're an organized group and they assault people and they harass people and it's racketeering and it's terrorist incitement and it's really bad when Antifa does. But just arrest them if they're going to get in the way of law enforcement. Just arrest them. So I mean, that's really all you have to do. I guess the problem is these are liberal jurisdictions, they're liberal districts, so they get let out really quickly. Thoughts on Mexican presidential race assassinations, the current president being Jewish? Yeah, I mean, I've seen things where they said 37 politicians were. I don't think that's true in terms of the actual presidential race. I think there's just 37 politicians in general that were assassinated, but it's extremely corrupt. How can it be an organization? Well, I mean, whether it's an organization or not, if they're obstructing law enforcement, just arrest them. Is it really this hard? Like, I don't know why they let them assault ICE and obstruct the law enforcement. Just arrest all of them. They got to go in and deport people. This is the issue with this country. It's like, we finally vote for deportations. And honestly, I wish the administration would just be more quiet about it. Just go and just try and get as many people out as possible. We don't need a video to watch everybody getting deported. You're just flaming liberals and allowing them to mobilize against you. Trump may actually get the Peace Prize. Yeah, I mean, what is the odds on it? Is there like, there's no odds on it. God. Come on, we need a 50-point decrease. Man, I should have bet on this. I would have made a lot of money, but I never bet on this type of stuff. It is a ceasefire. It's the first phase of the peace deal, which includes an obvious ceasefire and the hostages to be released. Now they have to negotiate the actual terms, and then Israel will continue to retreat from Gaza. Retreat. New Jersey governor debate. That'd be good. That'd be good for Citarelli, you'd think. The last one didn't go well. But I don't know. I don't know if debates in those really matter. Does this mean all the fighting is halted? Yeah, if there's a ceasefire, the fighting is supposed to be halted. Sometimes there's fighting that's ongoing even during a ceasefire, and then it's like a delay. But fighting is supposed to be halted, and when it's a ceasefire, so sometimes it's like there's a little bit more fighting, and then it stops. But because that's what happened, with Pakistan and India. But
Go ahead.
Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, you said you might go to Gaza. You're saying that's
Who
the
you
first
with?
topic. I'm representing the TV pool, but I'm with NBC, sir.
That's too bad. Go ahead.
Well, just to clarify, you said you might go to Gaza, and then the second question I had earlier today, you said the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois should be jailed. Have you asked the Justice Department to look at possible charges?
No, I've seen the law.
who are these people at this table?
Mainstream media outlet is the worst. What I think, it's any of them that decided to call Kilmar Abrego Garcia Maryland dad. Because when I'm out there on the street talking,
I don't know, my text-to-speech is not working, I guess. I was waiting for that. The left will have a hard time in spinning the progress made on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict into something negative. They will try but fail. Yeah, I think they'll probably say it can't. There's no way it holds up. There's no way that the terms are going to be agreed to by Hamas to disarm themselves.
to these people, you know, they call Maryland dad is this human. He's actually a human trafficking MS-13 gang member that's illegally in the country. But the amount of people on the street that I spoke with that thought that he was a U.S. citizen that was being deported to Uganda is dangerous. These people genuinely believe,
Oh, now it's working. Chances on that district Supreme Court ruling. There's going to be a ruling next week. It's hard to say. I mean, the report was that the Democrats are really nervous that the Supreme Court, I mean, it is 6-3. The Supreme Court is going to tear that up. So then that would basically mean that a lot of southern districts would be redrawn in a way that would be more gerrymandered for Republicans in Republican states. I don't know. They're saying it would add 19 seats. That would be insane if that actually happens. It depends. They're hearing a case next week on it. I don't know if it'll result in, but apparently the Democrats are worrying.
based on what comes out of the garbage standing over here, that you guys are deporting U.S. citizens. So that's what's causing
So
all these
when you
problems.
have a governor like Pritzker,
Mainstream media outlet is the worst. What I think, it's any of them that decided to call Kilmar Abrego Garcia Maryland Dad. Because when I'm out there on the street talking to these people, you know, they call Maryland Dad is this human, he's actually a human trafficking MS-13 gang member that's illegally in the country. But the amount of people on the street that I spoke with that thought that he was a U.S. citizen that was being deported to Uganda.
Oh, sorry, I already played that.
When I leave my house to go to work, I am violently assaulted. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been bear sprayed. I've been beaten down. I've been almost killed. So my question for all of you is, how would you feel if every time you showed up to work, masked militants tried to kill you? Because that's how we feel. That's our lived reality. And you guys go and tell us that we're liars, the riots aren't that bad, right? I've never seen any of you guys on the ground. In fact, I've never seen anybody representing the companies you work for on the ground. You guys come to us for interviews that never get published. Stop saying we're lying. We're not. We risk our lives every day to do the job that you guys are too afraid to do. When I leave my house,
These are reporters. These are independent reporters. That's who they're. Trump calls CNN fake news, but still answers all their questions. Even Caitlin Collins praised Trump for it. I know, I saw that. They have to be happy with Trump. I mean, he gives them so much material. He gives them so much time versus the other presidents. So they even have to admit it, you know. But he is obsessed with the press. He always talks to the press. A rocket will be fired from Gaza during the ceasefire peace. Israel will then just move in. This isn't even speculation. Well, I mean, there's always a chance of that, and then people just say, well, Israel did it or incited it, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Have you seen the leaked video of Katie Porter? Yeah, I saw she was taking some serious heat. Now it's looking like she's not even going to win the primary there, apparently. Or at least she's gone down significantly. And Wokeness tweeted that a judge is stopping the peace deal. Is it? Yeah, it's satire, man. Those big accounts always do satire about judges stopping like stuff like this. Your township got hit hard with raids today. Dude, where do you live in, like, fucking New Mexico? I mean, it seems like I'm starting to think you're just making stuff up to me. Like, everything is about raids and immigration and deportations. I mean,
Meek Noctem tipped 50 Swedish krona through Super Chat to argue that the peace won't hold doesn't take anything from the progress already on the way. It's infinitely better than no change.
yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I mean, we can speculate on whether or not it'll hold. Obviously, the conflict between these two groups tends to be very loose. But, I mean, there has been peace for prolonged periods in the past with minor fighting. So maybe that's what this is. And I think the key is, you know, this is a big thing to talk about. And look, I don't know exactly what's going to come of this, but there is the idea that, well, Trump just kisses Israel's ass. And so if this goes through, and look, again, I don't know what's really going to happen to Gaza and what Israel will do in the future. But really, Israel is gaining no territory, which is pretty insane when you think about it. After all the fear-mongering, I know they destroyed Gaza. They did destroy Gaza, but imagine they gained no territory with this. It's pretty remarkable by Trump. So after all of this, they get no territory. What do you think of the whole Josh Hammer thing? You think it's suspicious? I saw a little of that. I'd have to look into that more, man. I'd have to look into it. It does feel like it's a little bit feels like it's a little bit of a stretch because he tweeted about something. I don't know. Did you see the story that a guy ran a girl and her friend early because of Charlie Kirk hate, but it turns out he was stalking her for months and has nothing to do with Charlie? Yeah, I did see that story. I did see that story, and they tried to frame it and kind of make Kirk look bad. I mean, it's just terrible.
Chased out by a member of Antifa who said he would smoke me, and next thing he knew, a DHS sniper had lasers on his chest. If he was not there, who knows what would have happened that day. These people are very dangerous, and people wonder how they're able to do it. It's the reason is because these cities are not enforcing the law. And why should these people be worried if the law is not being enforced? And we are not far right, nor are we far wrong. We're just right. And the truth about what's happening here in America with these groups is very dangerous, and I thank you, Mr. President, and your administration as well for acknowledging that. Chased out by...
Will China actually invade Taiwan in 2026, 2027? I think it's a little bit early for that. You know, when I looked up that situation, they say really like early 2030s. I mean, I guess it depends on the geopolitics in the world. If there's a lot happening, maybe they could do it. Maybe they'd feel comfortable doing it. I don't know, but it feels like that situation maybe is like a 2030s type thing. But I mean, it's a huge undertaking. It really is. People think, well, China's way bigger than Taiwan. No, Taiwan is a very powerful country for as small as they are, and they've got a lot of allies, and it would be a very it would be a hard invasion. It would be. I mean, they want to do it like by proxy, I think.
What is happening in Portland at the ICE facility? I've been covering this for the past 4 months, and this is a call out to corporate media who has completely ignored this story or has falsely reported on it. This is nothing short other than a sustained attack on the United States, which is being supported by Democratic elected officials. The Portland Police Bureau has completely abandoned several blocks outside the ICE facility, giving away their jurisdiction to a terrorist group who has spent the past 4 months harassing, assaulting, and intimidating anyone they perceive to be against their cause. Not only have federal agents been
China has won 95% of their war games. What does that even mean? They've won 95% of their war games. What with gray zone warfare? I mean, it's a lot different to actually try and invade Taiwan versus whatever they're doing, the intimidation.
And relentlessly assaulted for more than 100 consecutive days. Black-clad anarchist militants concealing their identities behind black facial coverings have been assaulting reporters just for trying to cover their crimes. Today, I am sitting here with a black eye and a concussion after being violently hit in the face with a metal pole while reporting outside the ICE facility just this past week. After the attack, I immediately went to three Portland police officers who refused to detain the suspect. I took the time to chase down the suspect in the streets, had her held for 35 minutes. I was waiting for Portland police to come, and they never came. Then that's what opened to my eyes to what this group is actually doing. I watched 20 Antifa militants help my assault suspect escape into an Antifa safe house that is 1 block away from the ICE facility. And this safe house is where Antifa-affiliated protesters are conducting paramilitary operations. It's where they're arresting, they're showering, they're eating to continue this occupation. I have staked out this safe house and have observed shift changes. This group is highly organized. It is being funded through mutual aid groups, and they have no plans of stopping. Residents living across the ICE facility have been held hostage by Antifa. They're begging for federal intervention. The city refuses to help, and they want you, President Trump, to come in and restore law and order.
Well, I don't know who that is, but I think it's maybe a reporter.
And I was assigned to cover the election night demonstrations. Well, the elections night protests turned to riots, 3 days of violent rioting in Portland, and it was the first time that I saw groups dressed in black with their faces covered. This was 4 years before COVID. Some of them were waving the black flag of anarchism, some the red flag of Marxism. And within seconds, they would ravage one street to another, to another, to another. And the next day, I would read the legacy media, which I still read at that time and looked forward to, and I looked up to those journalists. And I was really shocked to see that the narrative was that these, in my view,
All right, so looks like they're having reporters that have been assaulted by Antifa, at a round table to say, well, this is really bad. And look, I just want them to deport the illegals. And if anyone tries to interfere, I mean, they should be arrested for obstruction. We don't need to do all this stuff where it's like, ooh, look at this. Just deport a bunch of these people. If anyone says, I'm going to stand in your way, you're going to be arrested for obstruction. Most of the people in the room are independent journalists. They covered the BLM riots of 2020. They've known about Antifa for a while. Make it a big statement. Yeah, but aren't you hindering your deportation operations when you basically do all the bells and whistles and stuff? It feels like, you're egging on them to counter protest you while you're deporting people. I would just say deport as many people as possible. And by the way, this is not like an electorally great thing, deporting all these people. Now, some people, certainly Republicans, are going to like it, but I don't think this is going to be something where independents are like, overly gung-ho about every illegal being deported. But that's how it always is. There's an equilibrium, and independents definitely swung that way in 2024 because the immigration got out of control. But then when the immigration calms down, like the illegal immigration coming into the country, independents are going to be, well, maybe the country's swinging to the right. I don't know. Maybe they'll still be anti-illegal immigrant. I mean, everyone should be anti-illegal immigrant. Liberals are more pro, but most people I know are anti now. When will the government reopen? I don't know. Probably in the middle of the month. Probably like October 15th. You're anti-non-white legal immigrant. Well, you would want, something like the 1924 immigration law is what you would want. It approves immigration from Europe, but that's it. But it was pretty loose, but it was Europe immigration only.
Murder Charlie Kirk, and we saw thousands upon thousands of people, other far leftists and people in positions of authority, people like nurses and pilots and doctors,
Jack Posobiec,
doctors and HR departments, celebrating the death and the murder of Charlie Kirk. This sickness that's out there is absolutely real. And Mr. President, thank you for mentioning the fact that one of the bullet casings read, "Hey fascist, catch."
European is the Middle East now. Now, I mean, they're still whiter than the United States. Europe is. A lot of those countries are at least 80% white. I know it looks, the big cities I know have gotten really Muslim, but the majority of the country is still the same. But I mean, they do have a lower population than us, so they can change a lot faster than we can in terms of the, demographics. But it's like, oh, definitely it's not overblown in the big cities. The big cities have gotten out of control in Europe, but overall, they're still on average, overall more white.
On it. One of the other bullet casings right next to that had Bella Ciao written on it. Now, Bella Ciao is a song that is...
Does race matter or culture matter? I think culture in a lot of cases is downstream of race. but it's more nuanced than that.
Known in Antifa circles as the international anthem of Antifa. And all of us around around this room that have studied Antifa, we're very familiar with these symbols. And Mr. President, I think the situation is getting worse. When you look at people like Luigi Maggioni, in his 20s, Thomas Matthew Crooks, of course, who took a shot at you, sir, the ICE shooter in Dallas, and now this Tyler Robinson, we're starting to see a pattern of more and more murderous violence. And this same violence is not just random. It is targeted assassinations, which are getting worse. And every single one of us in this room.
At this point, Colombia is probably righter than NYC. Look at Argentina. Look at Argentina. There's a lot of instances you could say like that.
Goes out there, and obviously you as well, sir, and all the staff. We are now under that threat every single day. And working there at Turning Point USA, and I've spent just about the last month out there in Phoenix with Erica, with the family, with the team. And I will tell you this, Mr. President, even though going through something like that, which is an absolute nightmare, and people say, you know, what was it like to speak in front of all those people? It was horrible. Every second of it was horrible. But we're not going to quit. And Turning Point USA is continuing the tour that Charlie was on.
This roundtable is a cry sesh. This is just propaganda for people to be anti-Antifa, basically. I think. Remember this thing? This is just like these two men. It's like these are grown men just crying to each other.
Meek Noctem tipped 50 Swedish krona through Super Chat. There is a total shit show here in Sweden because of immigration. We used to be the best in whichever way tested for quality of life, not any longer.
Absolutely. No, and you get a lot in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, all those countries. It's very, you know, society, it's a very delicate thing. And it can be hurt very easily, especially those countries that have smaller populations. You got to be very careful with immigration.
Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend
did your
the ACA
Did your
right
boss,
now.
Donald Trump,
He's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
So let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
Let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down?
You
Why
know
did you
I-
vote to shut
Let
it
me
down?
ask you a question.
For years, you
Well,
always lectured about how we need to
you're
keep the
making
government open.
You're making a show of this to
No,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could
It's
easily
an
sign on to
You're
this.
embarrassing
You
yourself
could
right
sign
now.
on to this. The only
You're
embarrassment
chasing
here
your
is
Hakeem
clout.
Jeffries
You're
is
embarrassing
sign
freaking
on to
screaming
this.
like a
You have
child.
4 Democrats on here.
Let me
Why
ask you a
won't you
question.
sign on
Let me ask
to
you a
it?
question.
It's a
Let
clean
me ask
extension
you a
for 1
question.
year.
You voted for the one thing
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax
largest-
cut bill that gave the
the
largest tax
largest
cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing
Do you
yourself right
you want
now.
to cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
rooted
history.
out
You voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New
Let
York,
me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2 billion
If you're
were
gonna-
wasted.
Listen, you're not going
wasted,
to talk. You're not
wasted
going to talk to me.
wasted
You're not
on
going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me.
York residents.
because
Really,
you don't
with
wanna
the
hear
finger
what I have
point?
to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that- is
up.
that the way to
you
talk?
showed up.
That's
you
not
showed
the
up,
way to
and
talk,
so
man.
you voted
Stop acting like
for
a
this
child.
one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill,
for this. You can extend it
a
right now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
they can get a permanent extension.
90% of Americans
but working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can't? Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that
right?
right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That
No
would have been a
one-
massive tax increase
no
on
one-
Americans all across the country.
You're
You support
here,
that?
unfortunately.
You're
to
against
do
lifting the cap on
bidding
salt?
Of your billionaire donors.
The
That's
billionaire
unfortunate.
donors lifting the
That's
cap on
correct.
salt. We put a income cap in place.
Why are you here right now?
An income
Where the
cap.
re- where
Well,
the rest
didn't
of
you
your
want all
Republican
Republicans
colleagues?
to be here?
Where
I'm
the
here.
rest, where the rest of your
You
Republican
wanted
colleagues?
Republicans to be here. I'm here.
Why are you
And by
here?
the way,
What?
you can
What?
pass an ACA extension right now. Sign
Did your
on to this
boss-
bill.
Did your boss
Sign
Donald
on
Trump-
to the bill.
Is your boss Donald Trump behind that yet?
HR 5145. Why don't you get on it?
Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind that
Why
yet?
won't you get on it?
Because you don't work for the American people.
What is that noise?
Oh, I do. I
You
work
don't
for,
work for the
the
people.
That's a weird noise, man. How was your day? My day was fine, man. IRS fired a bunch of people.
Substantial race in an off-year election, 63 seconds coverage on NBC, nothing on the other two big networks, nothing on PBS. It's like this never happened.
Well, that is not surprising in any way because most of the corporate media view.
You know, if it was a Republican, they would definitely use that as a reason to, like, justification for why Charlie Kirk got shot. Like, this is the rhetoric that they use, so of course. But they're not going to talk about it now. You live in Illinois, so you... Yeah, when I tell you about it, I'm just giving you a first-hand account of what you saw, just like to inform. Waukegan. Yeah, I mean, look, man, but it seems a little, seems like you're just trolling.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, where the differences are, and they are very big. They are voting yes on what we say here in Washington, a clean CR, a bill to keep the government running for 7 weeks, and Democrats are voting no, and for the reasons you just said. So how are they shutting down the government?
First of all, it isn't a clean CR.
Okay.
So let's not stipulate to that. It's
what's
not a
not
clean
clean?
CR.
What do they
It's no
have
use
in it?
going into that. The point is,
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
All right, let's see.
I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years.
Some people can't recover.
This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way,
Keith
it's
Olbermann.
much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement
Very
syndrome.
attractive.
Yes. I'm going to tell it to you anyway. 'cause
Very
it's relevant
attractive.
to what we're talking about.
Trump trying to hit on her. She was married to John King from CNN. Satoshi 1.1 1 million. So he's got like 3% of the supply. But he doesn't exist. What is an American answer? Oh, Vivek. Vivek. Bad Bunny reportedly spotted sitting down during the national anthem. Just filth. Just complete filth. Just pure filth. I fucking hate this country so much, and then he shocks his dog. It's just disturbing, man. Low-key want Vivek to lose in November. I don't know. I haven't seen the poll. No, it's 2026, bro. It's over a year away. Oh, wait, you're talking about the primary? Is Hassan's dog a terrorist hostage? I don't know, man. That situation is really bad. And then lying about it on top makes it that much worse. He blatantly lied and said, it's a vibrating collar. It's not a shock collar. And then tried covering the shocks with electrical tape. People called it out because, I mean, even XQC was like, this is XQC. Here's XQC. Was in that and Hassan and but this is in Hassan. That's XQC talking. No, I don't think Vivek's gonna bring in many Indians. He can't even do that as governor. He doesn't have the power to do that. That's an executive presidential thing. XQZ is a grifter. Vivek said, "Make Ohio India." Dude, he actually did say something like that. He was like, "We need to have." Well, he wants meritocracy, but he wants like a globalism. You know, that's like what meritocracy is now. It's globalism. So they think anyone from anywhere should just be able to come into the United States and get a job, and that's meritocracy. Well, no, that's just globalism. It's just not even a real country. Dude, that Hassan stuff. I mean, I feel bad for that dog. Celebration breaking out across central Gaza Strip. Trump has delivered. They're playing the YMCA song. YMCA. It's fun to say at the warning her and Tucker Carlson to lay low because they were on a assassination target list. Mm-hmm. How is Candace and Tucker spinning this as an Israeli psyop? What, this peace deal? I mean, we'll have to see. You know, I mean, Gaza is completely destroyed, but it is. They're not getting any land. Israel's not getting any land. I mean, if Candace Owens really thinks she's this much of a threat, well, I was gonna say why is she still on YouTube, but I guess Charlie Kirk was on YouTube. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, to me, it just seems like attention seeking.
Since the time that the Congresswoman is declared for governor, she's missed 90% of the votes in Washington. But a few Fridays ago, she skipped out of two very important joint appearances in New Jersey to get to Washington, D.C. to vote yes on the Charlie Kirk resolution celebrating his life. I applaud her yes on that vote. When she came back to New Jersey and caught hell from the left, she issued a statement condemning Charlie Kirk, calling him a misogynist and a racist. The two things are inconsistent to me. The way to tamp down the hateful rhetoric is by having the right kind of leadership in place. I've always conducted myself in a respectful way, even when I disagree with people. I'm never going to tarnish the name my parents gave me, and I'm never going to embarrass my 4 children. I've always been respectful with my rhetoric, and I think that that's more important than ever. Since the time that the Congresswoman is declared for governor, she's...
Put your hand over the camera for an edit. I don't even know what that means. Did they vote on a CR today? I don't think so. How many European viewers do you have? I don't think many. I don't think very many anymore. But maybe, yeah, there's a few here and there.
Just 1 second. I'm just going to read it one-on-one off of this text that I got. Okay. Okay.
Who sent you the text?
It's our teacher at our school. I'm just asking on behalf of him.
Fair enough.
Okay. The Democrat running for Attorney General in Virginia said in leaked text that he wished his political opponent as well as his children were dead, and no Democrats condemned those words. Today, a poll came out showing that 1 in 3 leftists say that physical violence is necessary to effect social change. Do you think that the nation can come back from this level of hatred the political left has for conservatives?
We must. Whatever is necessary is always possible. So do I believe it's possible? I do. But do we have work cut out for us ahead? Absolutely. The normalization of political violence is un-American in this country. It's unacceptable. And I think that one of the things I've noticed is no one on the right is going to manage to convince someone on the left, just as somebody on the left is probably going to have a hard time convincing someone on the right of the same thing although I personally believe the numbers are asymmetric in one direction. So what we're going to need is actually leaders with a spine on the left who we disagree with deeply to still stand up and say that no matter what you think, words, and this is one of the sins of the woke movement, the idea that words are violence. That's where a lot of this began, right? That intellectual slippage between words, the free debate and challenge in the marketplace of ideas. That idea, you would hear it a few years ago, that words are violence, that I am harmed, that microaggression is the equivalent of physical harm to me. That crossed an American boundary into something anti-American. The idea, if you turn words into violence, then I guess somebody could think violence is justified in response. We on the left and right have to be united that words are not violence, violence is violence, and violence is never, ever, never, ever in the United States of America an acceptable response to words, period. Thank you.
So creepy. They stand by him. He won't drop out because they want to still get the they want the Attorney General to be a Democrat. If he drops out, they're fucked. They're fucked either way. You don't trust an Indian to run Ohio? Yeah, well, I mean, isn't it like a sign of the times with our, immigration situation? But, I mean, he is a Republican. That's, he does have the Trump endorsement. But, yeah, there have been some challenging things with Vivek, and he's got like this, he's got the, the Asian, almost Asian Indian mantra. But those countries, I mean, even in comparison to the United States, Asians in the U.S. do better than Asians in China. Now, I think a lot of that is because the higher end Asians come to the United States, and that's why it's like a smaller pool. A lot of the poorer ones stay in China. They do worse. But I did find that interesting. Trump stops a genocide. Wow. Are you jealous Michigan has a second piece of land? That is strange, that extra piece that they have, honestly. Do people live there? Is it a good place to visit? The upper area of Michigan? It's a little strange. If we take Canada or India, population will skyrocket. Yeah, and they're just in general they're keep accepting more.
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. You let him run Ohio, more Indians will move over there and he will welcome them with open arms. He already supports more H-1B vistas.
Yeah, but I don't think him as a governor can really impact the amount of H-1B visas that are handed out. That's an administrative, executive thing. Canada is cooked. If I was Canadian, I would want annexation to preserve Canadian identity. Yeah, but they're all really liberal. They all think that doesn't matter. That's the problem. That's why they're cooked in the first place. You hear that Trump is thinking about making child custody 50-50 equal child support in divorces. He also wants to penalize cheating. That seems like it'd be tough to do, penalize cheating, because that's a lot of he said, she said type stuff. Well, Canada is screwed. They can't even get the trade to go right with Trump. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It does seem like Canada's economy is kind of fucked because of the tariff stuff with Trump. But their economy was, I mean, if you compare Canada's economy to and like their GDP growth to all the other Western countries, they are lagging behind, I think, pretty much everyone. Please primary challenge Vivek and save Ohio. I'll fund you with a super chat. You're gonna fund my campaign with a super chat? I can't wait for this super chat. This will be great. All right, give me the super chat. Give me the like $100,000 super chat to fund my campaign. Give me $1,000. Yeah, I don't know what this crap is. This preseason basketball. It's like, so this is really. I mean, we got the peace deal. Again, I don't know if it'll hold. Maybe it'll.
Salir a la calle y hablar con la gente trabajadora del día a día que tiene que vivir con las consecuencias de nuestra.
Listen, you're not gonna
Wasted.
you're not gonna talk.
Wasted.
You're not gonna talk to
Wasted
me. You're not
on
gonna talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't want to
getting-
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up? You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill.
for this. You can extend it right
A
now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire
So,
donors.
so 90% of
So they can
Americans
get a permanent
taxing. Lift by the way. You can.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Hakeem Jeffries is really unprofessional, and it's just not necessary.
Obviously, blessed are the peacemakers indeed, but it is worth pointing out this is a ceasefire deal, right? This is not a larger peace deal about a Palestinian state of any sort and who gets to rule a Palestinian state and Israel gets security guarantees, how, and all that. That is still TBD, right?
I mean, yes, but, because the yes, but part of that is that, yes, this is the first phase of this deal where the two key parts of that was a ceasefire and the release of the hostages and also the release of Palestinian prisoners that are being held in Israel.
Obviously, blessed are the peacemakers indeed.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll have to see if this holds. I mean, but it is good propaganda for Trump. There's no doubt about it. It'll just be dependent on if it holds. And if it holds, that's going to be great for the Republicans. I mean, there's no denying it. It doesn't give Israel more land. Didn't Jeffries pull the fire alarm? Pull the alarm! No, that's a different black dude. Bowman. Hit the switch. Hit the alarm. Hit the alarm. Trump is traveling to Israel in the coming days to take a visit to the Wailing Wall and to discuss the peace agreement. So Trump visiting Israel, Tel Aviv. Thoughts on Vaughn? Yeah, I mean, Vaughn has negative, political IQ. So, I mean, honestly, Hope he can be a Democrat for all I care. Woman died after riding a haunted mansion ride at Disneyland. From what? A heart attack? U.S. Senate gives final passage in major piece of legislation that will unleash coal. Unleashes an oil and gas development, 50 to 45, undoing a Biden arrow measure. Trump going on his annual indoctrination. No. This is because the peace deal was just done. This is not about going to the Wailing Wall or anything like that. It's just because the peace deal was done. Marco Rubio.
Criminal conspiracy.
Marco Rubio said the peace deal is done. You've won, sir. And then Trump was like, really?
I'm just given. Yeah, I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly.
Drink some of that water.
We'll
The water
take a
with
couple of more questions.
Criminal conspiracy.
They always have that little cover over it, trying to protect it. Protect the water. All these guys are drinking their water. Rubio snuck a trip. Rubio said, "Sir, you will be escorted to the Wailing Wall. You will be escorted to Israel." Trump to visit Israel to deliver a speech. Yeah, this is really bad. I don't know what this is, but Marco Rubio, love letter to Donald Trump. You've won, sir. We've done it. Text me later. We need you to approve a social post. You need some of those drink covers. Well, that's what women have. They have the drink covers, you know, at the bars. Pledge your allegiance to Israel. Never forget 10/7. Yeah, that's what it is. It's right after 10th, the anniversary, so that's probably a reason he's going. But it's also because this peace deal. Hassan Palpatine. Oh man. Yeah, the New Jersey governor's debate is tonight. I saw a clip of it. Did you play the Katie Porter clip? No, I mean I saw it before this. Like I saw it earlier today. Have you seen the drone footage of Gaza? All the buildings are in rubble and everything has been flattened. Yeah, I know. Everything has been destroyed. I have seen the drone footage. They're going to have to rebuild it. And Trump says the Palestinians will be able to live there again. They're going to have to invest money into rebuilding it. The surrounding Gulf states are. Will the Yankees win? The Yankees win. Now, I don't know. The Yankees might lose, it looks like. Can win some. Sears win Virginia. It's not looking too good. I mean, it's possible. You never know. Youngkin won in 21, but it's not looking too good. Matt, thank you. Did you see NVIDIA CEO will gladly pay $100K H-1B fee? Yeah, NVIDIA, I think, is operating from a different level. I mean, they have the #1 most valuable company, yeah, for over $4 trillion. So They could probably pay that a lot easier. But I mean, even paying 100K, if you're going to pay a 100K fee, now to be fair, that fee is only a one-time thing. Everyone thought it was annual. It's not annual. It's a one-time fee. But still, there's a lot of companies that are not going to be able to afford that. And on top of that, if you're willing to pay 100K, obviously the worker must be pretty good. If you're paying 100K and then also the worker gets a salary on top of that. So it still makes it better than what it previously was, because it makes it harder to hire some of just the grunt work people who are just straight up replacing entry level people that are fresh out of college. But NVIDIA, I think NVIDIA is a little bit of a different scenario. Your boss at your health insurance company said they'd never pay 100K. I think it's going to take out a lot of people that were previously getting H-1Bs. They can't afford it. I mean, yeah, sure, NVIDIA can afford it. Do you think the developments with Gaza, Israel peace deal is great news for Trump? You hope it works out. He deserves Nobel Peace Prize for ending several conflicts. Yeah. I mean, I just want to see if he, if because you normally there would be like a, oh, here it is right here. How is there, this doesn't even make sense. This is glitched. How is there $23 million in this? There's no odds. I guess the people are just betting on Trump. Why would Musk win it? Why would Musk win the Peace Prize? Yeah, I mean, they might give it to him. Well, this is actually, it looks like it's decided at the end of the year. They might give it to him if he does work out the, it's a long shot, but if he works out the Eastern European situation, they might have to give it to him then. But I don't think they'd give him to just because of this, because this is just a temporary ceasefire. You know, it could kick up at any time. What is the next inflation report? I think it's the 10th. So 2 days. It's either the 10th or like the 13th, or it's around the 10th to the 15th. It might be the 15th, honestly. Yeah, the inflation's been going up a little bit, I'll be honest. But it's like, it doesn't even matter because the Democrats already screwed everything up. And I mean, what is it at 3 point? It's at like 3.0. You know, at least it's not 9% like it was with the Democrats. 9% inflation. 9% terrible. %3 inflation is modest. Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of. I'd prefer it a little bit lower than 3%, but it's not terrible. Elon would deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, you could win a lot for betting Elon. Imagine I got inside information. Elon Musk is winning the Nobel Peace Prize. All right, let's see if I can actually predict something here. I'll try and give you. I gotta get into the politics though. See, this stuff, I need stuff closer. Boy, these are two very Irish names. I'll give Ireland credit for that, whoever they elect. Israel withdraws from Gaza in 2025, but it's not good value. Greenland. I wonder if I think Greenland is still probably on here. 3% chance. 3% chance. It was at 18%. Then I don't know what happened in late July. I don't remember anything happening in late July. 3% chance. Netanyahu said Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, they give it to him to placate. Maybe the Israel pull some strings, gives it to him. Imagine Israel. I don't know. They probably hate Israel. Everyone seems to hate Israel right now. I don't know if the commission that puts out the Nobel Peace Prize. Denmark said recently Trump has not given up on his desire. I'm gonna have to buy the Greenland coin on Solana again. I'll have to repurchase that. Can somebody give me some inside info on when Trump is gonna try and rebuy? He's gonna try and buy Greenland. I could at least buy the Greenland coin. Your local Costco had their greeter hawking their gold bars today. $4,179. Almost went for it, but realized made you too much of a boomer. Yeah, that's a bad buy. You should not be buying gold bars right now, especially the gold bars from Costco. You know, I think they mark those bars up at Costco anyways, and they get boomers on it. If you want to buy gold, just buy the Tether gold. Just buy Tether gold. That's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, gold is really high right now. It's not a good time to buy it. Here's the inside info. Go all in on the Greenland coin, and then after the midterms, if Republicans keep both chambers, you're going to retire easily. Yeah, but that's too far away, because that would be after the bull run 2020. I mean, not that it matters for the Greenland coin narrative, but I would be able to wait for a while before buying it if they are going to wait until after the midterms to try and get Greenland. Yeah, I don't really think you should have the physical gold is just. I mean, you could own a little bit of physical gold. You know, Patrick Bet David had like a gold bar. He was bragging about it. He's like, I bought this and I'm up like 70%. It's like, dude, all right. Oh. Physical gold meme coin. Yeah, no, there actually is there actually is. I think it's AU 79 this is the gold coin. I hate that it's on Solana. Yeah, I would never buy this. I mean, I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, the crypto could do a really Trolloween. Trolloween. What a waste. Wait, is that all of them? Oh, it's all BNB shit now. Oh, hell no. Ethereum 5000. Bullshit. Just buy 10 coins for $100 each on a chain that isn't popping right now. Now it's BNB. Yeah, I just see it's BNB. No, I think Ethereum's gonna pump heavily, man. You can't keep going to these different chains and stuff. It's Dude, imagine Baron got in on the Greenland coin. The hype. Get Baron in on the Greenland coin, tweet out about it. This is a real investment. You buy this because we're taking Greenland. You must buy the Greenland coin. It's the new currency of Greenland. Greenland. Hannity with clip with Trump. What is that on? Yankees down 4-1. Yeah, Yankees I think are screwed. But I said that yesterday.
A lot of the Arab nations that have formed coalitions with you were reluctant and resistant for decades to ever be a part of the solution. That was a big part of what happened here today. Can you explain that part of it?
Well, I develop relationships with people, and sometimes those relationships lead to great things. And in the case of many of the Arab nations, the wealthiest nations in the world, if you look, although with what we've done in the United States, I think we top everybody by a lot.
A lot of the Arab nations that have formed
There's a bunch of old people. It's a bunch of old people and it's boomer slop. Look at all the masks. They still got the masks outside. Legalization for who? Illegals? This was already decided at the ballot box. These liberals are always protesting. That's got to be annoying. That's got to be annoying. These people are just annoying. They really are. They're just annoying. They're not really doing anything. Like what are you impacting? The election has already been decided. I don't know what you're impacting. They're angry at ICE for deporting illegal immigrants. That's as nice as ICE can be, is deporting the illegal immigrants. That's what they do. That's their job. This is what was voted for. I don't get what they're protesting. Of course, we're going to deport illegal immigrants. Like, this stuff is so brain dead. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream. I'm gonna end it there. Does Baron own any Melania coin? Probably a bit. Probably sold it all. That coin is a mess. All right, guys. I'll see you.